Every day, something dramatic happens in the Caribbean that affects our lives. We'll give you the details. We'll give you the facts on Caribbean Perspective with Eddie Frederick. Here's Eddie Frederick.
Welcome to Caribbean Perspective. So glad you can join us. The story that dominates in today's edition for Tuesday, 12th August 2025, and brought to you in association with our friends at Antillean Group. Jamaica's general election set for September 3rd as parties battle over Jamaica's future. Details after this important message.
Believe in our strength, we'll stand by you. Protection from all, perils big and small. Reassurance we give, it's so glad to see. Peace of mind, that's our service guarantee. We look after all our family. Yes, we do at every opportunity.
Antillean Group, underwriters of all classes of insurance solutions for your protection and investment. Live well financially.
The hurricane season is now upon us, so we as Caribbean people need to remember to think safety and be prepared. Avoid venturing outside during a storm or hurricane, especially if there are strong winds. Rooftops and other debris are often blown about and can cause great damage.
Welcome back. Jamaica's Prime Minister Dr. Andrew Holness made the long-anticipated announcement at a mass rally in Halfway Tree on Sunday evening, calling on voters to choose Jamaica and grant the Jamaica Labour Party JLP an unprecedented third consecutive term in office. Nomination day has been set for August 18th. Public opinion polls suggest the race to control Jamaica House will be a tight one. By-elections in 4 local government divisions in the Kingstown and St. Andrew Municipal Corporation will also be held on September 3rd, Holness announced. He promised even greater investment in education, healthcare, housing, water and road infrastructure, and the implementation of a rural school bus system aimed at improving access and safety for students. Meanwhile, the opposition People's National Party PNP, which holds 14 seats, is pushing for a new direction under the Time Come campaign. The party, racked by public divisions over the last decade, now projects unity. It has cited its 2024 local government election performance as proof it is regaining credibility with Jamaicans. The PNP is prioritizing economic inclusion, greater access to housing, especially for young middle-income people, and reforms in healthcare and education. PNP President Mark Golding has positioned himself as a champion of the marginalized, arguing that Jamaica needs a government that puts the people at the center and uplifts the vulnerable. In other news, former Prime Minister of the Bahamas, Dr. Hubert Minnis, asked whether or not he will run in the next general election, had this to say. ZNS News has more.
Only thing I'm saying is I am running. The FNM has already made a statement. The FNM has said that I am not their candidate. I said I am running. I don't think we need anything other than that at this particular point in time. But I am running, and I have no doubt. I have faith and confidence that the people of Kalani will return me as the member of Parliament for Kalani.
Minister's reassurance comes as the Constituencies Committee mull over possible changes to the boundaries ahead of the next general election in light of heavily populated areas like Killarney.
I know that they will make shifts. My constituency has a large number, and it had to be done. And I'm certain that it will be done. But in spite of that, I will be there, and Kalani will support me.
A wealthy businessman on Thursday became the head of Haiti's Transitional Presidential Council, tasked with restoring order in the troubled country. As a top gang leader, underscored the challenges facing the nation by vowing to overthrow the government. Details in this Africa News item.
Laurent Sensi's appointment at the council's heavily guarded office in the capital, Port-au-Prince, marked the first time that members of Haiti's private sector served in both the rotating presidency and the post of prime minister, two positions that share the country's executive duties. It's not the time for beautiful speeches. It's time to act. Too much blood is being spilled. We must restore state authority, rebuild the state for all citizens to live as human beings. Hours earlier, a powerful gang federation that has long denounced Haiti's oligarchs threatened to overthrow the government, and gunfire erupted in parts of the capital. As the country prepares for Sensi's swearing-in ceremony, Haitians posted a flurry of warnings about violence in hope that people could remain safe.
You're listening to Caribbean Perspective with Eddie Frederick,
in association with our friends at
Antillian Group, underwriters of all classes of insurance solutions for your protection and investment. Live well financially.
The U.S. has doubled a reward for information leading to the arrest of Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro to $50 million, accusing him of being one of the largest narco traffickers in the world. Details in this WION News item.
Well, U.S. is turning up the heat on Venezuela's President Nicolas Maduro, seeking information that may lead to his arrest. The Trump administration has doubled the reward for critical insight on Maduro and is now offering $50 million. The U.S. government had already offered $25 million before, and Attorney General Pam Bondi announced twice the amount of reward money now. Bondi has accused Maduro of being directly linked to drug smuggling operations and prominent criminal groups such as Tren de Aragua and Sinaloa cartel. The U.S. has labeled Maduro as, and I'm quoting here, one of the world's largest narco traffickers, and claims that the Venezuelan president collaborates with cartels to flood the U.S. with fentanyl-laced cocaine. Venezuela has reacted strongly against all these accusations. Venezuelan Foreign Minister said on Telegram that the announcement was the most ridiculous smokescreen ever seen. The dignity of our homeland is not for sale. We repudiate this crude political propaganda operation. That's what he said. Foreign Minister Gill also taunted Bondi for her flip-flop over the controversial Epstein files and slammed her track record with empty promises like the secret Epstein list. Washington's latest bid to turn up the heat on Nicolas Maduro comes just weeks after former head of Venezuela's military intelligence, Hugo Carvajal, pleaded guilty to drug trafficking charges during his trial in the U.S. He also fled Venezuela after calling for Maduro to be overthrown. He had first denied all charges against him, but later he changed his plea to guilty. The U-turn gave rise to speculation and reports that Carvajal had negotiated a deal with the U.S. government in exchange for information on Maduro. However, this was never officially confirmed by American officials. During Trump's first term, the U.S. government charged Maduro and other high-ranking Venezuelan officials with a range of offenses, including narco-terror, corruption, and drug trafficking. At that time, the U.S. Department of Justice claimed Maduro had worked with the Colombian rebel group, FARC, to use cocaine as a weapon to flood the United States. The reward was first set at $15 million in 2020. That's when U.S. prosecutors charged Maduro with drug trafficking. It was increased to $25 million in January 2025, as Maduro was sworn in for a third term, alongside new sanctions on top officials.
Premier Cora Richardson Hodge, former chairperson of the Eastern Caribbean Central Bank, the ECCB Monetary Council, said she will continue to be committed to the advancement of the members of the Eastern Caribbean Currency Union and the wider OECS sub-region. Glenn Bart of SKN Newsline reports.
The immediate past chairperson of the ECCB Monetary Council was addressing the 17th July opening session for the Monetary Council's meeting with the official changeover of chairmanship to incoming Prime Minister Gaston Brown of Antigua and Barbuda. Council members who are Ministers of Finance in the ECCU met to discuss policy matters of the Central Bank and related matters. Premier Richardson Hodge and Prime Minister Gaston Brown commented on the work of the Council and the ECCB.
In the ECCU, 2024 was a year of recovery and consolidation, marked by modest growth, easing inflation, and improving fiscal health, albeit with some underlying vulnerabilities. Economic activity in the region is estimated to have expanded by 3.7%. Tourism and construction led the way in respect to this economic upturn. Visitor arrivals in member countries have mostly recovered as conditions in source markets and regional air connectivity have improved. During this past year, the monetary and credit environment remained favorable to the growth and development of the ECCU. At the end of the central bank's 2024-2025 financial year, the backing of the EC dollar stood at 97%, with foreign reserves at EC 5.5 billion. In addition to monetary stability, the Monetary Council remained committed to promoting the economic development of ECCU member countries. Access to the formal banking system is a vital step in opening doors to financial tools and pathways that can build wealth and help break the cycle of poverty for generations of citizens.
And it is important for every citizen, every resident to understand that you cannot build a successful nation of poor people. And whereas I do accept from time to time we'll have pockets of poverty, we must work collectively and unrelentingly to build the individual and collective wealth of our people and our nation. I must add that this policy shift must be supported by increased entrepreneurship, intrapreneurship, creativity, and innovation. Now, instead of marring ourselves in can't-do rhetoric, we must become a can-do people who will generate tangible value utilizing our knowledge and skills for the development of our respective countries. Too many among us are quick to tell us what cannot be done. As I said, we must become a can-do people. For example, I am of the firm view that the central bank has a significant role to play in catalyzing these domestic investments in revenue and foreign exchange earning assets. We have to go beyond the traditional role of central banks. When these major economic models were developed, they were not developed for small microstates. And we must develop our own economic models, our bespoke models, taking into consideration the idiosyncrasies and certainly the limited capital formation within the currency region. And this will require bold, deliberate action, frame-breaking action, not for us to be timid and to do what others tell us to do. In fact, I make the point here too that there is absolutely no compelling reason whatsoever why the Eastern Caribbean Central Bank cannot utilize a small portion of its reserves, let's say up to 3% of its reserves, in US dollar denominated government securities on the Eastern Caribbean Stock Exchange to provide a portion of the capital that would fund these revenue and foreign currency generating businesses, especially in the tourism sector.
The ECCB is implementing a set of initiatives that, through the so-called the Big Push, are aimed at advancing the economic well-being of member countries. Glenn Bart reporting for SK Newsline.
I am Eddie Frederick. This has been Caribbean Perspective, a whole new approach to highlighting developments in the Caribbean. In the meantime, please follow us on Facebook and subscribe to our YouTube channel for daily regional news and more, in association with our friends at Antillian Group.
Believe in our strength, we'll stand by you. protection from all perils big and small. Reassurance we give, it's so clear to see. Peace of mind, that's our service guarantee. We look after all our family, yes we do at every opportunity.
Antillian Group, underwriters of all classes of insurance solutions for your protection and investment. Live well financially.